Hi, okay, we're live. We got it.
All right.
We figured it out. I had to unmute the microphone on the app, but that's okay.
All right.
All right, we're here.
This is crazy. We're live.
This is so weird.
It's very strange to be able to look over there and see me.
Uh-huh.
Testing.
It's weird for me to look over at you and see you every day.
Testing.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this very special episode of the Bite Me podcast. It's our first, simul webcast.
Simul webcast.
Is that a thing?
I think so.
Simulcast. So we're recording our weekly show, and we're trying a new thing. So with Mixer, if you're not familiar, it is Microsoft's new streaming platform, kind of the answer to Twitch, and it's really cool. They the multiple cameras and the multiple feeds and stuff that you can all do into one thing. It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's built right into your Xbox.
It's built right into your Xbox.
Or Windows 10.
Or Windows 10. We sound like an ad. We are not getting paid by Microsoft
Yet. We're working on money. So this is going to be weird because I'm usually picking my nose and flipping people off as they walk by my studio.
On the plus side, you'll be able to see everything, all the weirdness that Dylan does, which is he looks
anti-weird.
He looks super put together and normal over there. He's not.
He's not.
Way.
He's like a serial killer.
Yeah.
Do I look put together?
No,
Very,
not really. Not really at all.
Very flattering.
Anyway.
These cameras make us look good, too. I feel okay with how I look.
Yeah.
The camera adds 10 pounds. Look at that chest.
Oh, yeah, you did cut your hair.
I cut my hair today.
What hair you had?
Yeah, there's not much of it.
I trimmed the mane.
So anyway, welcome to this episode of the Bite Me Podcast. It's
Thanks.
live online, and it's episode 37.
It is.
As we do every week, we introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Adam West.
And now you can see us.
Yeah.
Hey, Cliff.
Don't look at the computer.
I know,
'cause
right?
That's not the camera.
No, it's very upsetting.
I'm the Dylan.
You're
the Dylan.
I like that. It's like the Babadook.
What's a Babadook?
But unlike the Batman.
Yeah, exactly. You've not seen the Babadook?
What's
It's an
a Babadook?
Australian psychological horror thriller movie.
Is it like the Chupacabra?
No. It's really
It probably is
weird.
actually just like a Chupacabra.
Nothing like it. Nothing
Or
like
the
it.
Yeti in the Pacific Northwest? Or Nessie?
We're off the rails already.
Anyway, that's nothing new.
So
that has nothing to
anyway,
do with the video. No.
right. So we are going to go over some stuff this week in news. We're going to talk about Extra Life that is coming up. It's happening on November 4th. Also, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's dumb, and we'll tell you why.
For a lot of reasons.
A lot of reasons, evidently. I'm excited about this. The new 2DS is out. Even though I like my 3DS, the new 2DS looks fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that and its price point. Changes coming up to DOTA, making it easier for some people. Also, the DOTA Internationals. That starts next week?
Yeah.
Here in Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go to the Key Arena and watch
Nerds
Dota.
tap away.
Right?
PS Plus. I love my PS Plus. I like what I pay for it. If I lived in Europe, I'd probably be pissed.
It's
Money's-
my PS Plus, and I need it now.
The SNES Classic pre-orders, they are happening. We will tell you when, I think.
Yeah.
Do we have a specific?
No.
No, okay. Of course, we'll cover our questions from Vinny. Kevin's got a question for us. We'll talk about some cheap and free stuff, the Humble Bundle, and Troll Corner. Looking at our show notes,
I might have used a curse.
Oh, it's gonna be good. And I'm also in the what's playing. I've got some interesting stuff.
Nice.
So we'll start with what we're playing.
What are you playing, Adam?
Well, I'm playing games.
I love games.
So jump back into Destiny, the OG Destiny, with Neurogamer. If you're in our Discord, you know who that is. Did that last night, so that was fun.
Nice.
And it was all muscle memory. Just playing 10 minutes into it, I'm like, whoa, there we go.
The game feels so good. Every time, I know we've been talking about Destiny every week for 5 weeks
That's
now.
fine.
I'm sorry if you don't like it, but
Fine.
Jesus, that game plays so good. I love it.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Before
so
we move off of Destiny,
Okay.
can I spit in some Destiny? Because we've talked about it so much.
Wait, you
that
think
I feel
that
like
you
I'm not going to talk about it too much this episode.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I was playing a strike, my first strike. I was very excited about this strike. And got towards the end of it, and I dropped. So I was booted from the party, and then I reconnected, and I couldn't join because Destiny autofilled it with some random schmo.
Really?
Yeah.
So now I have to replay the strike, and no one else has to.
Oh, that
which is kind of
sucks.
obnoxious. Why would it do that?
That's really lame.
Yeah.
Well, don't get booted out of the game.
That's my biggest gripe with Destiny, but overall, I'm enjoying it. So.
We played our first raid the other day. Me and Dylan and Kevin and Vinny and my brother, I
Did
want
I
to
do
say.
it?
No. We wanted Dylan.
I wasn't.
Let's see.
there.
There's 5 of us: me, my kid, my brother, Kevin, and Vinny, and it was really, really fun. We played it for like 3 hours. And
Did
lost.
you beat it?
No. and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think we got to the end guy. And
The boss?
The boss. And I'm like looking at a guide for it. We got maybe halfway through. Maybe.
See, I'm scared to try a raid. I've never.
It was hard. It's a level 26 raid. And I think me and my brother were playing our level 40s, but everyone else was like in their like. And my kid actually was playing his level 39. So, like,
wow.
And then I think Kevin and Vinny were playing their, like, probably 26, 27, 28 level characters. It was hard, and it's all teamwork. Like, I understand kind of now why they don't let randoms go into Destiny raids, is you have to be on a
Kind of have
headset.
to have a game plan.
Well, not only a game plan, but you have to be talking to people. There's no way you could play those unless everyone had run it 1,000 times, because it's very much take these 3 points and hold them, and then once you're there, defend this 1 point, and then defend these 2 points, and then kill these weird glowing yellow things. And it's
the glowing yellow things. I encountered those the other day.
Yeah. I played yesterday, and me and my brother actually ran the same level that strikes on, just not as a. I'm sorry, the same level that raids on, just not as a raid. So
I experienced the same thing. Yellow.
So
yellow
back to what
glowing.
Adam West is playing.
Yeah. It's all about Adam.
Destiny. And I noticed when I logged into the PlayStation Store to pre-order Hellblade last week that there was a sale on the PlayStation Now service.
Oh yeah.
It was $99 for the year.
And you pulled the trigger?
And I did, because I figured $10 a month. It's 2 AAA games in a year, which I'm sure I'm going to buy, but this is whatever.
that's how it always works in my head too.
Yeah.
Like, no, I just won't buy 2 AAA games, and I'll save the $100. But I'll spend $100 plus 2 AAA games,
Right.
Probably 3.
PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
2 AAA
exactly.
games.
But
There you
and
go.
of course, after I did that, now the rumor is that they might be rolling PlayStation Now into the PS Plus service.
You think so? That'd
That
be
is a
awesome.
rumor, which would be awesome because they're trying to get it to take off, but
Yep.
people just aren't necessarily willing to
Doing
shell
it.
out for it. So it would make sense for them to kind of roll that into that
Yeah.
if they up the price like they did that we're going to be talking about. That
Yeah,
might
although
make
that
sense.
wasn't a big price increase,
Right, but it
So-
might just be enough to
Yeah, yeah.
justify,
Yeah, I personally think that PlayStation should roll PS Plus or should roll PS Now into PS Plus,
Yeah.
and Xbox should roll Games Pass into the play. And even so raise the price, raise it so it's $100 a year.
right.
Done.
That might piss some people off.
Yeah,
but
people are
just
dumb.
whatever. But so I played Sniper 3 Elite.
How did you like
which
that?
It's the PlayStation 3 version, so
Yeah.
graphically it's still really impressive for a PlayStation 3
I've
game.
heard that's super fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's super stealthy though.
Yeah.
So if stealth is not your jam, don't pick
I
this
should
up.
not play that game.
Don't pick it up.
Yeah.
You won't like it. But I played
Patience is
Shadow
a
of the
virtue.
Colossus, the remastered version.
Oh.
So it's all right. But the thing is, like with all these remasters, like they're making it look pretty
Yeah,
and
but
it's
the
gorgeous.
mechanics are
but it's
so
got the
old.
same gameplay
Yeah.
mechanics, and it's just like,
That's hard.
oh, it plays. It's
Like
rough,
dung.
man. Huh?
Like dung.
Like
Oh.
like poop.
Yeah.
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 Like
That's
over
hard.
I
dung.
wasn't gonna say the P word.
Well,
That's-
oh, not poop. Not that.
You can't say that. No.
You don't
No.
say
You
that.
play anything else?
I played some more PUBG. I played.
What's the highest you've gotten on PUBG yet?
2.
2?
I got second.
Holy
Yeah,
cow.
I made it to second. So
You still died.
I did. I still died.
That's still really impressive,
Yeah.
though.
There's only one winner.
Yeah,
I don't think I've
I
gotten
know.
above 40. So,
I just run and
I do-
hide. That's all I got to do. But other than that, I think that's really it.
nice.
Yeah, that's all I played.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing this thing called work a
Ugh,
lot.
Yuck.
So
Dylan?
A lot of Splatoon 2.
Nice. I'm going to rent that really soon.
Yeah. If you haven't played this yet and haven't got it for your Nintendo Switch, you should get it.
So,
Adam.
I know I need to.
so can you explain... I keep seeing these weird things online about ketchup versus mustard and ketchup versus mayo and... What are they talking about?
I don't know.
Oh,
This
dang
game
it.
is so not American. Like, you are squid people and you fight octopus people, but you fight them by painting stuff.
Do you
But
think-
with guns that paint
Well, with
stuff.
paint guns.
But sometimes you might use a paintbrush or a bucket.
Do you think that squids and octopuses fight in the ocean?
No.
No.
I don't.
I haven't really put that much thought into it. It's a Nintendo
but
game, so it's just
All
inherently
eight-legged friends
weird.
can... Do you think octopuses would fight spiders? Like big ones?
I think octopuses are pretty
Carnivorous. They probably eat spiders.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, there's like the two MCs of the game, I'm going to call them. I don't
Is it better than
remember their
the
names.
MC guy from Arms?
Everyone's better than
No.
MC Guy from Arms. He's a liar.
No.
Saying.
They're real annoying. But like every day when you sign on to Splatoon, they tell you what maps are that day, because I do like this about
really?
Splatoon. So when you go play multiplayer, there's only 2 maps that you will play that day.
Sure.
There's only 2 in a rotation, so you will play that map or that map. I like that because it actually teaches you the maps.
Yeah, exactly.
Much better than playing through a cycle of 12 maps. You'll never learn them all.
Yeah.
Right.
And really figuring out
That's the
how-
problem. That's one of the biggest problems I have with Overwatch is I go in, I'm like, I know this map sort of, but I don't remember where anything is, and I have to play so many
Yeah.
games in order to learn all of them.
I've been noticing that recently. I've played quite a bit of Overwatch, and there's
Yeah.
still a few maps that I don't play often enough. They just don't end up popping up
And I don't know
and
if-
I don't know what that is.
Is it random? I assume it's random,
Yeah.
and random chance is kind of how random chance works. so-
Exactly, but it would be nice to spend a week on, and maybe that's just going into the training on
That could
maps
be.
or whatever, setting up your own game and just exploring the maps. But at the same time, I just want to play those
Yeah.
maps. So
Yeah.
I like how that Splatoon does this. But anyway, these like at some random points they'll ask you, like during the Splatfest, it was like cake or ice cream, and you had to pick cake or ice cream, and that dictated which shirt you wore.
Oh, well.
During the Splatfest, if you were a cake or ice cream person. I don't know, but then there's like
I could never choose between cake and ice cream. That'd be like choosing between my 2 kids. I mean, I only have one, so that metaphor doesn't really work, but
No.
it'd be like choosing between my kid and ice cream.
Ice cream wins,
Yeah, right.
obviously.
but anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know, cake and ice cream.
Cake and ice cream, ketchup and
Yeah,
mustard.
I don't know. This game's real weird. Like, luckily the gameplay has
is really
a lot
good.
going for it because it's real weird.
Yeah.
Like at some point you fight a giant, overweight octopus riding a unicycle.
I thought you were
with
going
a
to say a
paint
unicorn.
roller.
That sounds amazing.
I was
It
waiting
wields
for
a
unicorn.
giant paint roller, and it's real weird.
For those of you that have played The Witcher, I did some stuff on a unicorn the other day. I'm not going to go into details. They're not safe for this podcast.
That's real weird.
Anyway,
Um,
not to a unicorn.
Splatoon 2
on a
is real
unicorn.
fun. It's real colorful. I really love just when you have 2 teams and they have their random colors, because I
Yeah.
assume it just picks your colors at
Yeah.
random, and just the way that the map looks like when it's covered in 2 different colors of paint, and the way
It looks cool.
like it's really neat.
How many players on each team?
4v4.
That's great. I need to pick that game up.
And there's just so many different weapons too, from like your giant like chain paint gun, like chain gun type paint gun, to your normal blasters, to like the little dualies, to
Oh,
the
that's
paintbrush,
cool.
to a bucket, to
I just
a
love-
roller, and the way that they actually like paint the environments differently.
It's so cool though that that Nintendo thought there's a bunch of people that probably, I mean, and I know that there's more to it than this, but that Nintendo looks at something like that and goes, there are probably 1 billion kids watching their dads or moms play Overwatch and TFC and all these different violent multiplayer shooters that are essentially kind of a capture the flag or a hold a point thing. Like, let's make a game that all those people play and play together, and it's smart. I
Yeah.
wish there were more games like that. My kid all the time wants me to play like stupid mini games inside of Minecraft. I'm like, we could,
But you
but
get to
these
spend
are,
time with your kid.
but they're awful. They're so bad. They're so bad.
And I think this is a
And I just wish that there was more people that would make like AAA versions of those games that you could play together like that.
And this is just a perfect example of that. It's so cool how they were able to create an objective like this that still allows you to play a third-person shooter,
Yep.
but in a
Mhm.
completely different way. And I'm starting to learn, like, I think, because I never played the first Splatoon, so I'm a little new to this.
I love the first one.
Yeah, I never played it either.
A lot of fun.
But trying to figure out the different like techniques and tips and tricks that you can do to play better. Because on the surface it's pretty simple. Just paint the most area.
Yeah.
Like, but then you also do, shoot each other with paint and pop each other, but then just figuring out like there's different like angles that when you look at the certain towers and things that you can get paint on places that aren't just the trail that you're
super
going
obvious.
on. So painting those will get you points. So sometimes maybe your opponent doesn't paint those on their half and you paint those on your half, and that could be the difference between
That's
that
crazy.
1% of territory painted.
That's so fun.
So I kind of like focus on that, and I don't know if that's necessarily the smartest thing, or if really just trying to kind of stick at that midway point and keeping the enemies out of your territory and slowly. There's a lot of strategy to it, and it's a little different than most other.
That's really
games you've
cool.
played.
I love it. I love it.
Sorry, my computer went black. I
Oh.
wanted to make sure that we didn't lose the stream.
Nice.
Sorry. Yeah.
But that's pretty fun.
Very cool.
And then just more Overwatch as usual.
Nice.
So
Very cool. Where are you ranked in Clash Royale now?
I just got into Arena 8.
Nice.
So that's 2,300 trophies. I've got a couple legendaries now, which is pretty cool because they're rare, I guess.
I've watched him play this game, I don't even know how many times, and it still literally makes no sense to me, and I have no idea how something that simple can have any mechanic to it all. It looks literally like just, I don't know, 2 paths that guys walk down, and he throws out cards every once in a while. It makes no sense to me. But
It's very interesting, and it is pretty deep because each card puts out a certain number of units that has a certain amount of stats, has a certain DPS, and they move at a certain pace, but they're always moving forward. So you have to learn which pace they go.
do they always walk down those paths,
Yes.
though? Yeah.
In most cases, flying things can go off the path. Like the Hog Rider can jump over the river
Sure.
and will take its quickest route to the path.
Sure.
But they're always walking forward. So if you have to account for if they're coming towards you, are you going to play defense or are you going to try to push?
Sure.
So if you set them farther back, they'll meet closer to your tower. So you have your towers to defend. If you push too fast, then their towers are defending you.
Yeah.
So it's all about placement.
I know there's a lot of strategy to it. It's just like it doesn't make any. I've not played a lot of like tower defense games, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
And certain cards, choose their aggro differently. So, like the giant only attacks buildings, or
Sure.
the Hog Rider only attacks buildings. So it ignores everything else in its path and moves directly to the building. Some things will aggro a certain sightline distance away, a number of units of measurement, however they dictate that. So if it can see it, it will move towards that unit. So you're able to redirect things with cheaper units to get them out of their path. So you lead them away from your tower and then into other units or your defense towers and things like that. So, I mean, there's a lot to differentiate just putting down units to actually learning all the different units and how to counter them.
Sure.
It's all about countering and playing defense and then pushing when you have the advantage.
Yeah.
As is any MOBA,
Yeah.
when you have an advantage in a lane, knowing when to push forward and when to pull back. So it's just a nice one that you can do when you have 3 minutes to spare.
Did it during a fire drill the other day.
Rather than 60 minutes for a game of League of Legends.
Exactly.
But
That's cool. It's very cool.
It's
I like
pretty
it.
fun.
Cool.
I like it.
And what about you, Mr. Clifford? What are you playing?
Like we play some Destiny. Love it. We're playing.
Of
I mean,
course.
I'm probably playing 8-12 hours of Destiny a week now. It's a problem. And I mean, that's Destiny 1, so I don't know what's going to happen when Destiny 2 comes out. And like for those keeping track, that's in like just a little more than a month. That's like a month and 6 days from now, September 7th, right?
Yeah, it's not very far away.
I'm super excited. Today my second PS4 is coming to my house, so my kid can play with me. I got a good deal on it though. I only paid like $221 for a Slim. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
I've been playing The Witcher 3 because literally I'll sit down at my computer and go like, I should play something new and different that we can talk about on the podcast. And then I look up, I'm like, The Witcher 3 is just right there. Click. It's like crack. I cannot stop playing it. It's so fun. I think about halfway through the first story, or halfway through the like vanilla game.
Right.
So it's real good. I just can't. It's the reason I shouldn't play MMOs because I just get so addicted to that loop of get a quest, finish the quest, return the quest, get a new quest. Any stupid little dumb person that pops up like, "Good sir, can you help me?" I'm like, "Of course I can. I'm a Witcher. What else would I do?" And so I just can't.
I think that's why I have a hard time with those games, because it's always like, okay, do a quest, go back, do a quest, go back, which is why I like games like God of War and the Hellblade game that's coming out. That's why
It's
I'm
all
excited
pushing
for that.
forward.
It's all moving forward.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I play Destiny and PUBG and stuff like that, it's without an end, a real end in sight.
Yep.
That's I don't like that. Even though I rarely finish a game.
Yeah, but no, The Witcher. I didn't think when I got back into it, I didn't think it was going to be a game that I was going to play anything but just casually. And I literally am playing
Way too much?
Way too much, and I love every second of it. So
Good job.
The other game I did play, I played this morning. These guys actually gave us a copy of it to try out. It's called Dr. Kvorak's Obliteration Game, and it's really interesting. It's kind of pushed as a VR title. I played it in VR, and it was good in VR. It made me kind of motion sick, so I stepped back from that and played it just you can play it non-VR too, and it's the premise and the mechanics of the game aren't super unique. It's just a environment based puzzle platformer. So you walk through an environment and essentially solve ways to get through that platform and collect the things you need. But the story of it is actually really unique. You're this little green alien dude who gets pulled into a game show called Dr. Kvorak's Obliteration Game, and you're going through this and solving these puzzles, collecting pieces of planets. And if you don't get all the pieces for that planet in the thing, you can complete that level. But if you complete the level without getting all the pieces, he blows up that planet. So it's like he's literally the guy. Dr. Obliteration is a god, and he collects planets.
Oh,
and it is his whim whether those planets live or die.
He doesn't seem like a very kind god.
No, he is
or a giving god.
Very Old Testament, he's very, very not pleased, and he will, the first one, I'm like, I wonder if you have to get all the pieces, and I missed one, and he's like, okay,
all
this
right.
planet's gone. Happened to be a cheese planet. Yeah.
Oh.
And he's like, literally, I love cheese, so it's okay.
Wow, okay.
So, but it's really fun, and the VR is unique, and I think it's one of those things. I played it on, most VR games have a rating of how motion sick they'll make you, and they have settings. And like when we played Resident Evil,
you can
7,
set the turn.
Yeah, you can
radius.
either say I just want to move by making. You can usually use the controller to jump forward, and that usually will not make you very motion sick. Up to full walking, which often will make you very motion sick. And I played this one on moderate, and I'm wondering if I dialed it back to kind of a casual, mild motion sick, if it would have been better. But it was way easier not playing it in VR. But I'm going to probably try it again just because it's really fun to do it in VR because you actually are moving your little character, but you feel like this kind of being above him because you're actually making a move. And I don't know, VR is just it's such a unique thing, and it's so hard to explain if you haven't tried it. But I mean, I'd never played a Steam VR game. If you have an Oculus Rift, you can play it through the Oculus software, or you can play it through Steam. And I hadn't done it through Steam, and I didn't know what you needed to do. So I just launched it. I started this game, and it didn't know. It wasn't set up, so it didn't know where I was. And
Gotcha.
So the game started coming at me, and there's this big island coming at me, and it's starting to hit me, and it's so weird that your reaction is I gotta move. This thing's dangerous. And I mean, in your head, you're like, no, it's just a video game, but your mind's like, are you sure?
Right.
It's real weird.
It's really weird. It's super fun. I'm really
future.
enjoying it. Yeah,
Did you say it's so future?
It's so future.
kind of though? I mean,
I hope so. I hope it takes off. I mean, I bought a PlayStation VR,
Yeah.
and they're doing stuff, but not anything that I hope for.
every time I put that helmet on, man, I'm just and it's some of the dumbest experiences are super fun. In the Steam VR, it just puts you in this room, and you can just you can zap yourself around. There's all these different dumb, there's a balloonicorn you can pick up and play with, and
A balloonicorn.
they're go watch the. So when TF2 released, they made all these videos.
Is that Titanfall?
No, sorry, Team Fortress 2.
Okay.
They released all of these videos showing what the different classes were, and the one for the pyro is, the pyro in real life is this dude, shooting flames everywhere and lighting people on fire. People are screaming, but in his head, it's all rainbows and unicorns, and it's really funny. He's skipping through flowers while there's flames all over. But the balloonicorns from that's actually a little. I don't know, a balloon unicorn. They're cute and pink.
A balloonicorn.
We can
That
pop
makes
them
sense.
around and just walk in these different environments. It's oddly fun how just interesting just walking around in a unique fake environment can be. So
Cool.
anyway, for the first time you get to watch Dylan do this. Oh no, not quite.
Not quite.
Sorry.
Not quite. Just a reminder, if you're listening to us on iTunes or Google Play, give us a little thumbs up or a rating and review us, like us, stuff and things like that. It helps us get noticed. And makes us be able to
Happy?
do things like I love how you keep going to look at your camera,
I know,
but you're
it's-
looking at the computer.
But then I can't see myself. I like
You don't need to
see-
look. You don't need to see yourself.
I do need to see myself.
Anyway, like us, rate us, follow us, review us, whatever, and that just makes us be able to do things like stream our show.
Yeah, like these cameras didn't come free. You know.
No, I still need to give you money for
Yeah.
that. Anyway, so there is that, and now we move on to
News.
so stupid.
It's just as good. It's as good as you thought it was.
No,
be.
we need more imaging.
It's
I brought this
so-
to Cliff's attention today.
He
Oh,
think- he
so
thinks
I
we
need to
mo-
actually-
No,
No,
he
I-
thinks he needs to do more of that.
We
Oh, that's
need
a
to,
no.
We need to find more
Hard
spaces
no.
for it.
Okay.
Well, we'll get some feedback from
From Vinny
From Vinny.
from Vinny
and the other two people
if-
watching, which are probably you two.
Yeah.
Whatever Vinny's decision is, more or less imaging, that will be the future of our imaging.
Okay.
Anyway,
Starting off in news, Extra Life is coming up. Extra Life Day is happening on November 4th.
yes.
Could you please repeat that? Okay.
Roughly?
I got it.
Yeah, something like that.
He talks for a living.
Yeah, it's what I do.
wouldn't know.
And I've always seen so Kevin's cousins, they do an Extra Life marathon. They do a thing where they put up games and
Yeah.
people vote. They raise all kinds of money. And yeah, I've always heard about it. I've never done it though.
It's
so
fun.
tell me.
I've done it 3 of the last 4 years. I had to miss 1 year because my brother got married.
Ew.
I know, right? But it's really cool.
Why?
Love.
Really?
But it was really cool. It's you. You
I'm
can
going to
actually,
make sure somebody in particular sees that one moment of our podcast.
anyway. It's a cool charity, and it started with a guy who was raising funds for a girl who died of cancer, and it just kind of went out from there. And now they raise, I think they raised
of money?
$9 or $10 million last year in one day.
Wow.
For children hospitals, it's all. I think it's Children Miracle Network of hospitals. But
You're correct.
Thank you. The idea of what you do is you on November 4th and 5th. You play video games for 24 hours, like an actual marathon. And
You mean the way that people actually die
yeah,
over in Korea?
People that run. No, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
They play for longer.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It freaks me out.
And-
If Kevin's been playing Warcraft or Final Fantasy for more than 3 hours, I'm all, okay, you need to get up and walk around a little bit. I don't need to pull a South Korea internet cafe crap.
The first 21 hours isn't too hard. The last 3 are really hard. And this is actually over Daylight Savings Day, too. So if you technically want to go 8 to 8, you have to play 25 hours.
Then shouldn't you play 26 hours because it's a marathon?
Probably. Yeah, 26.2. But
Yeah.
but anyway, so what you
Math.
do is you get people to sponsor you, and then that money gets donated to the hospital. So I've raised, in the 3 years I've done, I've raised $1,300. I want to say, which is pretty respectable.
That's nice.
Maybe a little more. I think I might have done almost 14. But this year, the Bite Me team, so you can actually join our team too. So
Sweet.
if you want to do this and get some funding, you can join our team, and then we get a big bunch of money. We're shooting for $5,000 this year.
I think we can do that.
Yeah, I think so
know enough
too.
people. We
So,
know enough people.
the 3 of us will be playing. We're going to be live streaming it. I'm sure other people that listen to this podcast, you hear us talking about, Vinny and Kevin, and all those great people are going to be playing with us. My brother will be playing. It'll be a lot of fun. So, we're going to make an event of it. So, if you're interested in joining our team, you can go out to our website right now, bitemepodcast.com. In the right side rail there's a link to our Extra Life team. And we're going to be talking about this a lot over the next 3 months because it's almost exactly 3 months from now. So more details to come, but
I've
go
always
sign up.
wanted to do it.
It's super fun. It's
yeah.
it's literally the best excuse you could ever have to say, well, honey, I really need to play games for 24 hours. It's for the kids.
Right.
No one can say no to that. You're a monster if you
I
say
would feed
no.
the
I
dog.
won't.
I would take the dog to the vet, but
Yeah, I gotta play video games. It's really, really, really hard, but somebody's got to do it. But it's not just video games either. If you're a tabletop gamer, you can.
do people live stream tabletop
People
games?
do tabletop stuff.
Oh,
You don't
that's
have to
fun.
live stream it either, and frankly, you don't have to play for 24 hours either.
Right.
It's part of the fun of doing it. But if you're no, I can do it for 12. Last year when me and my kid did it, my kids at the time was maybe 9. I'm I'm not going to keep my kid away for 24 hours. So we did.
That would have been funny to see,
Yeah,
though, because
right.
your kid is funny with sleep.
Right. Yeah. So we did 4 hours on Friday and then 10 hours on Saturday and Sunday. So, do it however works for you. But, most of really the important part is you get to play video games. You get to raise money to help kids that have, horrible diseases and cancer and stuff make, their lives a little bit better. So it's a really great cause.
Sweet, and they can find out all that info on our website.
Yeah, go to our website. Like I said, Lower Rail, and I'll post our team on Facebook and Twitter tomorrow too.
Cool. We probably should have posted that we're streaming this like on our Facebook.
I did. I
Twitter
thought
and
this is like a soft launch.
Test, yeah.
Yeah, still, it
It's
would have been fun.
exclusive.
Next week.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, cool. Well, there is that. I'm looking forward to that. I've got a nice big couch, big TV, comfy. It's going to
It'll
be
be fun. We'll
Or are we going to do it all in like one place?
I don't know.
We should definitely have a party.
I think that like maybe we do like 10 or
We can
12
have
hours
invites.
all together, and then we'll I don't need to be at anyone's house at 3 a.m. We'll see.
It's whatever. All right, next up on the news, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I had no idea they were doing that. It's now on Steam.
It is, and
And
people are not pleased about it.
Why are they not happy about it?
You know,
Is it just like is
this
it
game's
poorly
just
done?
dumb. It's a 10-year-old game that they remastered, and then initially they're like, "You want this game? You've got to buy the newest version of Modern Warfare." I guess
the Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, so you had to buy Infinite Warfare to be able to buy this. And then they released it as a standalone. It's $40 for a 10-year-old, game. And then they said, "Oh, hey, by the way, that's going to be exclusive to PlayStation for a bunch of time.
some amount of time.
So you can't get it on the Xbox." And then they released it on Steam for $40 or $50 or $40. Yeah. And people just aren't pleased about it. Like it was a really good idea because Modern Warfare was one of those games that people really, really remembered as being great.
Oh yeah, there's great memories.
Yeah.
in this game.
I never played a
It's
single
good game.
one.
I have not played them either, but it's one of those ones that people talk about. Like we'd love to have this remastered, and then they just handled it so poorly, again and again and again and again. There's just no way that this was ever really going to work. So
$50?
but it's 40.
Oh.
But I mean, it's still $40. For a game that they've essentially released something like it every year for the last. You're like, oh, I'd love to get X game remastered. You're like, that's great. It's a game that came out 10 years ago that they have not made another one like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, geez, is there really that big of a difference between Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 Alpha and
12 and a half,
Infinite
11.5.
1 and like, geez, it's not like there's a limited number of combat shooters to pick from. So it's just been bad. It's just been really, really
Is this
bad.
the one? This isn't the one. What's the one in space?
I think that's Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, I guess old games should never be exclusive to something. I think
Right?
That,
Holy
I think
hell
that's
yes.
numero uno.
Yeah.
Um,
And they also shouldn't be gated behind other games.
yeah, I think that's really weird.
Yeah. If your game's not good enough to buy,
because the thing is, it is like.
Yeah.
They could have just released this game for $40, and
Yep.
I would have no complaints. Because I'm not going to say your old game isn't worth $40 if you remastered it. Because, for example, they updated the first Halo, and it looked amazing.
Oh yeah,
It was amazing. There's a punch of value in having that old
the
great
Master
game
Chief
that looks
Collection
like
was
done.
great. It was so fun to play. I
Yeah.
played through all of Halo, and it looked amazing.
Yeah, so like that's great. I'm not going to say you can't sell your game
Yep.
for $40 or even $60 if you do
Yeah.
this awesome remaster. Like that's cool.
Master
but
Chief Collection was a $60 game, and it it had some launch problems, but especially multiplayer. But if what you really wanted was to be able to play single player or co-op in that game, it's incredible.
yeah, and it's cool, and it was so cool that you could press the button and make it go
Right?
back to its old graphics.
Yeah.
Like how cool was that?
I
Like,
agree.
That's totally worth every penny.
Yep, I agree.
I guess the only thing I was going to say though is reading this article, like it got a bunch of negative reviews on Steam, which is the most passive aggressive way to protest something is give it negative reviews.
Yeah.
So stop
Right.
doing that, people. Please.
Yeah, if you don't
stop.
like, I mean,
it doesn't make a game bad because
I think that's real. Like to me, those things are always like when you go to look at something on Amazon and you're like, oh, what are all these 1-star reviews? They're like, the shipping wasn't up to my standards. I'm like, you're not
That's-
reviewing the
that's the
shipping.
point.
do you guys not understand what a review is?
Yeah.
Like stop being passive aggressive
Yeah.
and just don't buy the game.
But
Like
at the same
that's-
time, I don't know how I mean, is there a better way to show that you're upset about this? Like, what's a better way to voice that disappointment? I mean, that you can be passive aggressive
tweet,
on Twitter,
Facebook,
too.
Yeah,
hashtag,
exactly. You-
direct message. You know, just
yeah, exactly. It's not
use social
you're
media.
not reviewing the game.
Don't bring it down.
Yeah.
Don't bring
because there's a
game's
bunch of
actual score
people
down.
that busted their butts making that,
fair.
and
'Cause, I mean,
you're
this-
devaluing the work they put in to make that based on suits that are above them that made these
Right.
decisions.
Because
That's
it's
true.
not,
That's
and
fair.
the thing is, it's not,
It's not
a bad game.
It's just a
It's
dumb.
not.
It's just
I mean,
a
dumb
dumb
the way it was
marketing
implemented.
ploy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
stop with the reviews.
Stupid
and there's
people.
other ways to to communicate those frustrations.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, if you want to review something, go to iTunes and review us.
Yeah.
See how I did that?
That was good. That was
yeah.
good.
All right, so there's that Call of Duty. Man.
Moving on.
Moving along, the new 2DS. I'm kind of excited for it, even though I like my 3DS.
I want one so bad, but I have absolutely no reason to
Same.
get one just
Right?
because it looks
I like new
real
shiny
spiffy.
things.
Yeah, I know.
It looks
Well,
real
see, I've
spiffy.
still got the original 3DS XL, so I never got the new 3DS.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So
I have
I
the-
kind of
So there actually is a reason.
So
you
there's
can
my
play
reason
NES
for
games.
it.
Yeah.
can I. But
What
now
can I play on it?
And yet, so
all the
any
Super Nintendo
games,
Virtual
sorry.
Console
Yeah,
stuff,
you had to have the newer version of the 3DS.
and only some games that came out like. Isn't there a Monster Hunter game or
It
something?
seems like there are a few that you had to run on the new
Xenoblade.
3DS. Yeah.
Yeah.
or something.
Yep.
Like you had to have the new 3DS
Yep.
for it. So the cool thing is it's got all the internals of the new 3DS. Actually, maybe even no, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, it just
It's
doesn't
in
have
a
the
2D
3D.
Yeah, it's
it
2D
looks
panel.
almost identical. I've heard it is slightly different. Like there are differences to it.
Yeah, most
but,
like all the technology they had in the screen, like they had the 3D slider, they had
Yep.
the speakers were in there, but because they don't have the 3D thing, everything was able to be shifted down into the main body
Yep.
of it. So the screen itself is bigger, I want to say,
Maybe.
or it's bigger, but it's more sturdy because
Could be.
it doesn't have all the stuff weighting it down and flopping it around.
Sure.
So there's that.
Yeah, and the price is just right.
It's perfect.
$150. Like that's exactly what
Uh-huh.
I mean, I own
It tempts
I have
me,
the exact same one you
and
have.
I have no reason
I have the 3DS version 1. And I bought it right before I moved up here. I literally bought it so my kid had
Me
something to
too.
play on the plane or on the drive.
That's when I
And-
bought my
yeah.
I bought a DS the same way once because like I don't want to go on this hour-and-a-half ride.
Yep.
Like how ridiculous! Like, but when I was younger, like I could not stand being in a car for 90 minutes. Like that was
Yeah.
Like that's torture.
I don't know. He drove
horrendous.
somewhere 4 hours the other day. He's like, it almost killed me. I'm like,
I used to drive an hour and a half to work
yeah, right?
one way.
Ugh.
why.
Because I was 19, it was my first job in radio, and I really wanted to impress these
I
people.
mean, I'll be frank. Sometimes my commute's an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm
I
like-
live, I live 12 miles from here.
So, but what I find funny is, like in our show notes, you linked us
Yeah.
to the Amazon page for it, and I was just curious because Amazon does the whole get it for less with a trade-in. See
Yeah,
how
yeah.
much you'll save. So I clicked on it, and it bases your trade-ins on stuff you've purchased prior.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yes, it's odd, but let me just go through what my trade-in offers are according to GameStop. I mean, Amazon. My Sony Move charging station for
Yeah,
the Move controllers or whatever was like $15. I'm offered 98 cents for it.
Nice. You should jump on that.
Seriously, No Man's Sky.
That's 98 cents.
Right?
If they offered you more than
Not
$1,
1 cent.
you know.
Now I like No Man's Sky. They're
Oh, I
offering
do
me
too, but-
$5.
Oh, that's actually a really good trade.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Final Fantasy 15. They're offering me $12.
There you go.
That's
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that Amazon does that. I actually just sent in probably 10 Xbox 360 games to them yesterday. It's super easy. You just go in and type. You can just they've got this trade-in page, and you just type in what you've got, and they give you a price for it. And if you're happy with that, you literally just put them in a box, the packing list, and send it off to them. They give you Amazon credit, so you don't have to go into a GameStop and talk to some greasy GameStop employee.
So now my question though with the new 2DS, has Nintendo like unified their online stuff? So if I made purchases on the 3DS Virtual Shop or eShop, can I get those games onto my 2DS? Or I can just do a transfer.
I want to say yes, and like when I lost my Switch, it did work that way. Like I had digital things that were on my old Switch that then I just logged in on my new Switch and they downloaded. So I'm gonna say yes, but that's not like a definitive. But I'm pretty sure
because I kind of like because as much as I enjoy the 3D, I really do. I never use it.
Oh, I don't either. It drives me nuts. I don't.
Oh,
I've turned it on a
man.
few times. I'm like, ew, and then just turn it immediately down.
It's cool, but it's not
It just
always
feels
friendly
gimmicky.
with when you're playing it because
Yeah.
you want to kind of relax and you're not always at the perfect angle.
I don't know. I
so-
kind of think 3D almost always is gimmicky.
Oh, yes.
Like I don't see 3D movies. I don't. It's not my. Not
I
my,
love 3D movies. I like 3D movies if they're like Avengers or a Disney Pixar movie, just because I think that CGI, that style,
It's way more
3D lends
enjoyable.
itself
See, and to me,
that.
like 3D movies, like first off, like they're. I mean, you pay like $5 more ticket,
It's fine.
and it's darker and it's blurrier, like across the board. So, like, I don't know why I'd want to see a great looking movie darker and blurrier.
Well,
There was
it's okay.
I did see Star Wars that way though. If you're gonna see it, like if you can go to somewhere that has a laser 3D projection system, they're incredible.
Oh yeah.
The Science Center here has
And
one.
like
It's
the
amazing.
IMAX. By the way, IMAX 3D. If I could just talk crap, IMAX 3D, like in the regular theaters around the country.
Yeah.
Just because it's an IMAX screen and it's offered in 3D does not mean it's going to be good.
No, but
I can't remember what I
if
saw.
you're here and can go to the Pacific Science Center,
That one's amazing.
it is incredible.
That freaked me out. I saw
Yeah.
Maleficent in 3D there, and
Yeah.
that did freak me out.
Yeah, I saw Star
and
Wars.
Jurassic World. I saw Jurassic
Nice.
World. And, oh, yeah. If you've never been to a giant spectacle movie like that before with anybody like me, you should go. Because if you think I'm crazy, like when we're doing online multiplayer, a 3D movie with like 80-foot dinosaurs jumping out of the screen, I'm a 2-year-old.
I love it.
So, with a really bad mouth.
So, the best 3D movie experience I had was Sin City 2.
You're going to have to speak up.
Sin City 2
Thank
was
you.
the best 3D movie
Really?
I'd ever seen. And when things like this are introduced in movies, I think they should be there for a reason. And Sin City 2 did exactly that. And if you're familiar with Sin City, it is a series of graphic novels.
Yeah.
The first movie was great, and
I love the first one. Never saw the
it
second one.
so faithfully recreates what Frank Miller did in those comics and in those graphic novels. But what they did with Sin City 2, making it 3D, is it was very interesting because the style and the aesthetic of the movie is so much driven from the pages of the comic book. When you watch this movie in 3D, it actually felt like you could look within
that's cool.
the panels of the comic.
Oh, cool.
If you
Well, that's
kind of
cool. Yeah.
get that sense of like, imagine if you held a comic and then you like moved it around, like
Almost
this,
like a
it,
magic eye picture.
Yeah, it was exactly like that, and it was so cool. And I felt like that actually added a layer to the movie rather than just being a gimmick.
Sure.
So I think 3D can exist. I don't think it's usually ever implemented
Yeah.
in that way.
I just find I normally stop noticing about 4 minutes into a movie,
Yeah.
and it's not for me.
So
All right, cool. It's new 2DS. If you want it, go do it.
I do want it.
I know.
too.
I've got the page up right
I'm
now,
not
and
going to
I'm
buy
really
one,
difficult.
but
I'm having because I'm going on vacation on Thursday.
oh, you should buy one. Your Vita,
Kevin would kill me.
your Vita will not be enough for that. You're going to need both.
Anyway.
He wouldn't kill you because then he would have to pick up all the dog poop.
Oh, good point.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Good call. Oh, you
Smart.
justify my life so well.
I'm smart.
Dota, Defense of the Ancients, I believe is what that means.
Very
I think
smart.
you are
Look at me.
correct.
It is. Yeah.
1 point.
Changes are coming for new players.
Yeah. And like,
Maybe this will be the time I actually give it a shot. Because when Kevin and I started dating, all I ever saw was him tap 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 tap. Like,
Was he a Dota player then?
oh
Or-
yes, hardcore.
Okay.
Like, it was like pulling teeth because we did the long distance thing for a while. And I'm like, all right, let's have our Skype date. We're gonna watch it. Well, I'm playing a game, and I'm like, okay. He's like, well, we could get on Skype. You could watch me play a game, and I'm all, because that's fun for
I'd rather
everybody.
die.
Cool. Let me know when
and
you're
then
done.
there's a multi-billion-dollar Twitch industry built around that now.
Yeah.
I know, right? Now I'm like, yeah, I'll watch you play a game. Why not? But anyway, so welcoming to new players.
Yeah. If you have never played a MOBA, they are famously opaque. Like, and even if you like most video games, you can watch someone play and go like, "Oh yeah, I get that. That totally makes sense." The very first time I saw anyone play, I don't know if it was Dota or League, but I was at PAX West 2 years ago, and they had it on this giant screen, and I'm watching, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And all of a sudden, people started cheering. I'm like, what happened? And, like, I sat there and watched it for probably 20 minutes. I'm like, this looks fun, but what's going on? What are those big things and what are the little things? And why do people keep yelling things? I have literally no idea. And I watched the Dota Championships last year. And again, I'm like, I literally, you know, the like announcer's like, and he goes in and he's spawning over here. Oh my God, I can't believe that. And I'm like, what's happening? And no idea. So Dota, in a attempt to make it a little more easy for beginners, if you've never played before, you start out, and I think there's 115 heroes in
There's
this
a lot
game
of
you can play as.
characters.
That's a lot of people.
And they're pulling it down, so I think you only get 20 or 25.
20. Why did I just read it?
You just closed it.
The first 25 games, they've curated a pool of
I think 25 characters, I want to say. Either way, it's
20 heroes for 25
yeah,
games.
Yeah, and so the idea is, and those are the easiest heroes to use. It's the heroes that people have said are the easiest for new players to use.
To get a grasp of the game.
To get
Right.
an idea of how it works, and then you can go out from there. But they're also making sure that people that are new players will match with people that have a really high rating for, I don't remember exactly what they call it, but the people, essentially they match them with good people that are friendly, people that are welcoming to new players. When you finish a game of Dota, you have the ability to rate the people you play with, and they're making sure to rank, put newbies together with people that are going to be friendly and opening to, and that have been rated well by other new players.
That's
so
cool.
it's the idea is just to make this whole thing, it's still going to be complicated because, my God, it's complicated,
Right.
but to make it less intimidating. And so I think that's a really cool idea. And then the other thing they're doing is kind of interesting. So the International Dota Championship, it's a huge, I don't think I realized how big it was until I tried to get tickets to it. I want to say last year. I was like, oh, that'll be fun. Like, it's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'll pick up some tickets. Me and my kid will go. What a cool experience to do, Like, get to see video games at, the basketball stadium out here.
Yeah.
And I looked at tickets. I'm like, oh, my God, tickets are $130 each. And they sold out 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, I just had no idea. But it's a $23 million prize package this year. And so it's the top ranked, Dota players in the world all coming to Seattle to play this game. But one of the cool things you can do is you can watch all of these live streamed on Twitch. And something that they did a couple years back and they're bringing back this year is what they're calling, how do I want to say this? There's going to be a stream of this game you can watch that instead of, these like two hype men talking about stuff you don't know, it's going to be them live streaming and then kind of explaining what's going on. So it's actually a live stream for new players that they'll tell you what's happening and why players are doing what they're doing and explain it in terms that people that have never played this game before might be able to understand. So if you've never played before, like now's a great time to get into it. And Dota's free. So Dota 2's free. They're both free. Yeah. You literally just go out to Steam and install it. Watch some Dota. I think it starts next week on the 7th or 8th, I want to say. Watch the beginner stream. You'll get a good intro into how the game works. Can watch some expert level players use the right mechanics, and then go out and start with these 20 new characters that and play with people that hopefully are going to be nice to you. So it's a good time to get into Dota. Yeah. And MOBAs they're a big deal. Like between Dota and League and HOTS, Heroes of the Storm, and there's a lot. And you're seeing a lot of games too that use like MOBA like tactics.
Even Overwatch
and stuff.
is loosely a MOBA in a different style.
But the mobile game you're playing is kind of MOBA-esque.
Clash Royale.
I think Paragon was supposed to be kind of MOBA-esque. It's something that I think you're seeing a lot of.
Smite on Xbox.
Smite. Yeah, so it's not a bad genre to try, and a lot of them are free too. A lot of them are free. Like I think literally every one of those I just talked about was free. Yeah. So, if you're looking for something to play, give it a go. Adam.
Okay, sorry, I was actually futzing around with Mixer and stuff.
Good stuff.
Are we done with Dota?
We're done with Dota.
Oh, okay.
Done with the. That's actually could be like a marketing thing.
Done with Dota.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm done with Dota, and I haven't even started.
That could be League's new tagline.
Ooh,
done with Dota. Come to League.
Yeah. I'm already too invested in League, so I can't even think about starting to play or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I was reading more into this this whole price hike for PlayStation Plus over in the UK and Europe. It's a £10 difference is what it looks like.
Yeah, and
in which they did that here because it was $50 a year up until sometime I want to say last summer,
and that's
then they upped it by
interesting
$10.
Yeah, and it's not because necessarily they want to make it more expensive. It's just because currency's fluctuating so much that things that used to be kind of equivalent with U.S. currency aren't any longer.
Right.
And so this is actually kind of interesting, and people are kind of up in arms about it. I think it goes into effect at the end of this month. So if you don't have, if you're one of our 4 overseas listeners, and you don't have PS Plus now, or your PS Plus is expiring, now might be a good time to actually get that renewal now and save yourself, either €10 or £10. But it's actually interesting because both of them were actually cheaper than they were here. So with the exchange rate, we pay $60 over here, and it was like they were both paying in like the mid-50s for their stuff.
So this kind of comes into line with what we're paying.
Yeah, I think in euros it is almost exactly 60 now, I want to say, or within a couple dollars. And pounds are like 66, I want to say.
Yeah, it's 60 euros. It's going from 50 to 60 euros, and it's going from 40 to 50 pounds.
Yeah, and with the exchange rates, that puts it. They end up being slightly more than we've paid in the U.S., but before they were paying slightly less than we were. So it's kind of an equivalent, I guess. And I remember you're right. When PlayStation raised the price over here, there was oh my God, I'm never going to subscribe again. It's not worth it. It's such a terrible deal. Jesus, you get just this month, we got $100 worth of free, PlayStation games. So yeah, whatever. Last year, I think overall, I mean, it's about $100 a month. So it's, between like $1,100 and $1,300 worth of free games every single month. So
I think it's worth
totally
it.
worth it. And plus, how are you going to play Destiny 2 if you don't have PS Plus?
Seriously.
Right? There's more at stake here than just free games. So anyway,
Well, thankfully, I don't live in Europe.
Yep.
That's what you get for Brexit. Super Nintendo Classic, the SNES Classic. I'm excited for it. I'm going to buy one just because I can.
I'm not sure if I'm
If I
going
can
to,
find
but
it.
I might. Yeah, and as you know, we talked last week about all you people that had Super Nintendo pre-orders with Walmart. You don't anymore.
Sorry. That sucks. Man.
But
pre-orders are assuming. Is this for sure?
this is from Nintendo.
Okay.
So Nintendo, I think, learned from their mistake of not having pre-orders with the with the NES Mini, and they are going to be available, and it's going to be towards the end of August. So they're going to happen. They're not saying when exactly, but save your $80 up sometime between now and
$80.
Yeah, they're $80. But you do get an extra controller with a longer cord. But they said, we appreciate the incredible anticipation that exists for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Super NES Classic Edition system, and that is the worst name for anything that's ever been named, and can confirm that it will be made available for pre-orders by various retailers late this month. A significant amount of additional systems will be shipped to stores for launch day and throughout the balance of the calendar year. So hopefully, in between, scalpers and GameStop, you're actually going to be able to buy one of these things.
Aren't scalp? That's kind of
right. I could have just said scalpers,
Bundled
Yeah.
with 4 used Sega Dreamcast, the SNES Mini.
right? Yeah, it's gross.
Oh god, yeah. Well, and it kind of makes me question their. So the way they pose this, saying a significant amount of additional systems will be shipped to stores for launch day, and throughout the balance of the calendar year. So that makes me think they're only going to have these available for like 2 months.
That's the exact same plan. I think
That's
they're
it.
going to do the exact same thing they did with the NES Mini, where they launched it in September-ish, and they're only making them through like January, February of next year. So, and they gave a pretty good reason for that.
Why?
there's-
Because they don't like money.
No, they do like money, but they like people to spend it on their Nintendo Switches. The reality is that in China, where these things are made, there's a finite amount of factory time.
True.
And so, like, they literally said with the NES Mini, like, we had to make a decision: do we want to make Nintendo Switches or do we want to make NES Minis? And they chose
Right.
to make Switches.
I'll
And
take
so-
the Switch.
Yeah, I'll take
and that's the
Switch
reality. Is
any
when you
day.
think about how many things are made over there, there's all these iPhones and all these Androids and all these computer parts and computers and laptop screens and Xboxes and PlayStations. They're all made in essentially the same place in the same factories. So places buy time and say, we've got 10 hours to make stuff.
Go.
And they had to choose whether they wanted to make NES Minis or Switches, and they chose the thing that's going to get them more money. So you can't imagine, even at $60 or $80, these are probably not like they're probably making more money per unit than they are on the Switch, but there's no tail to it. Like they
Right.
make
That's it.
$80 once and never
buck
make any
stops
more.
there.
Pretty much.
Whereas with a Switch,
Money.
money. So
Money.
makes sense. It's just a bummer, but it's
Yeah.
There's an economy that it's based around those things.
I'll
so.
have to. Yeah. I
know
want
people.
one.
You can.
I know people.
You know people.
It's a thing.
I know people.
All right, that's it for news.
It's good.
All right, cool. Next, we move on to questions like we do every week. And our first question comes from...
Hey, yo, Vinny, where you at?
Now you actually get to see that. He's on the East Coast.
Where you at?
Yeah.
East Coast.
Massachusetts.
Where you at?
Oh. okay.
Anyway.
Thanks, Vinny, for your question. Vinny wants to know, what video game or series of games do you believe would make a killer TV show? Could it become mainstream, similar to shows like Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, etc., etc.?
It's good.
There's a lot of good. There's
I
a
know,
lot of
right?
games that I'm like, why isn't that a movie?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like thinking about it now, a movie that you can only tell one story typically in a movie.
Yeah.
With a few little other subplots, but like with
I
a
like
TV
the
show,
idea of a TV series, though. I
Yeah.
think there could be some really good TV shows around this. The one that immediately came to my mind is BioShock, just because I'd love to explore that. It was so rich, and there was so much interesting, like, philosophy that game was based around, and just all these people that have been turned into these horrible creatures, and then the crazy guy who, I wish I could remember that guy's name, and we looked up before, we couldn't figure out.
Was it like Jack
the
Ryan?
bad guy in that game is
Jack Ryan. Wait, that's
not right.
But it's something,
Something like
Ryan.
that,
It's something
yeah.
Ryan.
He was such a great bad guy. I would love to see
I have the
that.
internet in front of me. I can find
We
it out.
tried looking at it last time. I think we failed too. But I think that would make a great one. I'd love to see maybe the Fallout series. I think, I don't know. Those seem to be my two go-to. I loved both those games, and they just... Fallout would
Frank
be
Fontaine.
There you go. Maybe.
He's a criminal mastermind and the arch enemy of Andrew Ryan.
That sounds very, very likely.
Anyway.
Jack Ryan's the Tom Clancy guy.
Yeah, that's the
It's Tom Cruise.
Hunt for Red October guy.
Yeah. But both of those I think would be really cool. BioShock or Fallout. I'd love to see both those. And The Witcher would be a lot of fun too. But The Witcher's actually getting made into one. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's going to be excuse me, a Netflix show.
As long as it's not as gross and violent as Game of Thrones.
It's going to be the same thing.
It's going to be exactly
It's
the
going to
same
be the
thing.
same show.
Yeah.
Game of
Except you're a
Thrones,
Witcher.
I can't.
You literally can't even.
I literally
love
cannot
Game of
even.
Thrones.
I can't.
I
I
adore
can't.
Game of Thrones.
You're at odds with it.
I am. You're stupid.
Yeah.
I would
Zing.
like to see. I would like to see The Division. I think that could be a really great story.
Yeah.
With all the different, because there's already so many stories in that game with the cell phones that you pick up and all the all that stuff.
Yeah.
I really like Division, and I had another one and I totally spaced it. I don't remember.
The Division would be great, though. Like, quite frankly, maybe we can make a Destiny TV series so I know what the hell's going on. Like, I could watch the TV show and they could tell me what the story is I'm playing.
That could work.
That'd work.
That could work. I would also like to see something like Crackdown, or one of the Grand Theft Auto games like made into a series or something.
Oh, Grand Theft
Just
Auto would be
something
great.
like that. Just
Crackdown,
because-
but as like a procedural, like Law and Order type drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that other Rockstar game where like the entire thing
LA
was
Noire?
L.A. Noire? Like L.A. Noire would make a good
that would
like
be great.
I could see L.A. Noire, but only being like a 10 or 12 episode Netflix series. You know,
Or like True Detective, where
Yeah.
like a anthology.
Yeah, I could get
So
that.
each season has a different storyline.
I could
That
really
would be
get
cool.
into that.
Very cool.
Good stuff, Dylan. We've already chosen all the good games. Sorry.
Yep. So
Sorry
I'm
about
gonna
it.
I'm gonna come out of left field with this one and say
Hearthstone.
Mario, but Mario's already saved
Mario's butt.
Mario's already saved Peach. This is life after that.
Oh, could this
It's
be
kinda like
could this
Married
be a
with Children.
situation comedy? This
Yeah.
is oh my god!
It's like Married with Children, but with Mario and Peach.
Holy hell!
Wow.
I would watch that so much.
Oh, what?
And like Toad comes knocking,
win,
and
sir.
like Luigi comes over, and he's just like crazy because I imagine he's like the guy in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Raymond,
or what- yeah,
holy crap! That's
Raymond or
exactly
Brad
what was in my
Garrett.
head.
Yeah, so I mean, I
Oh,
think there's a lot of
man.
potential with Mario.
I would-
situational comedy,
I would watch the
Sorry,
crap out of
Mario.
that
It should,
show.
needs to be Everybody Loves Mario.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of Mario,
or It's a Me, Mario.
That's what
the
it's
name.
named. That's the name. 100%. That's the name. Oh, that'd be amazing. Rabbits versus Mario, or whatever it's called, comes out at the end of this month. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that hits this month.
Isn't there a TV show with the Rabbids?
Oh yeah, it's real weird. Real weird.
I was gonna say Splatoon, but I don't know if I want to watch that. But I kind of want to know.
You have
I
a
just want to know
seizure.
what's going on.
The
So I'm like,
Rabbids TV show is actually pretty good too. It's I think it's a Netflix show or a Hulu show. Yeah, it's fun.
Did they ever make an Invader Zim game?
I don't think so.
See, that needs to happen.
Yeah,
That needs to be a thing.
yeah.
like a
I
Telltale.
I totally just
like
went
if Telltale
backwards.
did it.
No, I want an Invader Zim game where I'm
Like
blowing
Ratchet and
people
Clank.
up and things. Yeah, that's
Or
what
Destroy
I want.
All Humans.
Oh god, I love that game.
Oh, Destroy All Humans would be a good TV show too.
Yeah.
I can buy
Oh,
that.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Oh, extra good.
That would be a good one. Oh, Smash TV.
Battletoads.
Oh, Smash TV.
Yeah.
So are we actually going to make Smash TV? I mean, that is a TV show.
But you
are
could
we going
make,
to murder people?
Like you make the game into. Oh, that would be great.
I'm not sure that's legal.
Well, not real. It's not reality TV. It's. I mean, it's some.
No,
like,
I think Smash
like Death
TV.
Race 2000.
I think
or
it'd be great.
something.
We'll do it once we figure out like how to make like
Money?
robots or clones or something. That'd be
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
I could do that.
that'd be real good.
Why? What about a Zelda? Like a legit.
He doesn't even talk.
Yeah. Oh.
Is it going to be after?
Well, Zelda does
after
talk.
he-
Link does
doesn't
not talk.
He's a mute. That didn't work.
Wow.
That doesn't work in movies.
Okay.
Maybe after he rescues her. Maybe he lives next door to Mario.
Have you ever watched Valhalla Rising?
I have not.
No.
Starring a silent protagonist. It's very weird. He
Interesting.
doesn't say anything.
I want to say
Okay.
he lives next door. I like that.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Vinny.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And up next, our good buddy Kevin. Hey, fellas. I love how he always says hi to us.
Yeah.
I love this guy. Kevin is curious if we've ever played a game that maybe wasn't so well received or didn't get the best reviews that you liked anyway. All the time. Very often he sees people treat reviews like gospel and they don't even give a game a shot, especially if it was poorly reviewed. He says Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Rings a bell for him. Thanks in advance, guys. Keep up the awesome work. Yeah, we will. Go. Give me a second. I mean,
yeah, it's a tough one.
I can fill some space.
Do it.
Well, just like
It's what you do all
my
the time.
buddy's a perfect example of this. He really liked Mass Effect Andromeda, which
Yeah.
is something everyone was
Mhm.
like kind of scared to even jump into that.
I guarantee you,
realm,
Mass
but-
Effect Andromeda is going to be that game for me.
Yeah.
I've already played like the first 2 hours of it. Like the animation was kind of meh, but I thought the gunplay was good. I thought the story was really interesting. It's just a game that I'm waiting for it. Like it's one of the I don't need a 60, 70 hour game right now. Like I've got plenty of The Witcher. But it's a game that I know I'm going to pick up. I'm going to pay $15 for it used off GameFly at some point, and I'm going to get 70 hours of enjoyment out of it, and it's going to be patched. So why not? You know, I think that's one. It's really hard, though. I mean, I think that's the downside with games like this is that the downside, like I think there's an upside and a downside to reviews, and there's an upside and a downside to people's perception of reviews, because people don't understand how game reviews work. Most games get rated in the 70s or 80s. And that's not bad. Like
Right.
70 or 80s is good. Like and
Right.
good is like, oh, you'll play that game and you'll enjoy it. There might be a couple of things that drive you nuts about it, but you're going to play that game and enjoy it if it's the kind of game you enjoy.
Right.
Everyone thinks that in order to be good, you've got to score a 90 or a 95 or 100, and those games are incredibly rare. I mean, Zelda is that 90 to 100. Grand Theft Auto 5 is that 90 to 100. They just don't. They come along maybe 3 or 4 times a generation.
Yeah.
They're just not that common, and that doesn't mean. I mean, quite frankly, like I adored Firewatch. Firewatch is a great game. It's probably my favorite game that I've played in the last year. And it got real average reviews, like low 70s, high,
Really?
Yeah, it was like
weird.
Yeah, I mean, like Metacritic, I think that game has like an 81. And it's probably because that game's not for everyone. I mean, like you have to enjoy Firewatch, you have to be okay with playing a $20 game that takes 3 hours to beat that has no action in it. It's really just narrative. And if that's not your game, it's going to be hard for you to rate that highly. And it's not a perfect game either. Like there are problems with the story. There's the fact that you cannot play that game more than once. There's no replayability to that. Even though there is choice, those choices don't matter at all. So there are things that are not perfect about that game. But that doesn't mean it's not great and that I don't tell every single person I meet to play that.
Right.
It's people think that. I mean, the question you ask is, didn't get the best reviews, and I think people forget that most games don't get the best reviews. Most games,
Most games get an average.
Yeah,
You're going to like this game.
yeah, if you took every game that was rated in 2016, the average rating, if you took every game magazine that publishes reviews and averaged together, the average review is probably a 75. And they don't rate, like the thing is there's so many games out that come out now that are good. No magazines rate crappy games anymore because you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have time. You don't have the space. You don't have the time for it because
Yeah.
there's so many other games out there that are going to.
And so they only
done
rate
well.
good or great games, and most games are good. And that's okay. So, if you see a game that only gets a 75 and you're like, oh, I don't know if that's a game I want to play, it's probably a game you want to play. Like you saw the trailer and you're like, oh, that looks good. You're probably going to get 10 or 15 or 20 or 80 hours of enjoyment out of that. Give it a go. It's dumb not to.
Like, I think the one game that obviously comes to mind most recently for me that falls into this is No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Just because it didn't get necessarily bad reviews. It did
Are
not.
you sure?
Well, it wasn't necessarily bad reviews. Like, for what the game is,
Yeah.
it's okay. It wasn't really welcomed
Yeah.
all that much. Like, people liked it for what it was, but they disliked it even more for the things they didn't get that they thought they were getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So But in No Man's Sky just literally falls into that camp of you either love this game or you hated it.
And it's super fun.
I love that game.
You know, I will say that there are games that are better than No Man's Sky, even in that same genre. But it's not bad.
But isn't that kind of a new... I won't say it's a new genre, but I think the way they approach that genre is new.
Yes and no. I mean, No Man's Sky really is just a survival game. It just happens to be set in space, you know.
Yeah, but it's just so...
But I mean, you know, No Man's Sky, even still, like No Man's Sky on PC's got a 61, but on PlayStation 4 it's got a 71. That's pretty decent. But I mean, that game's gorgeous. If you...
Especially, well, the thing is, too, when it started, all the way it looked, the way it played, the blah, 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 it was whatever. Now all the patches and stuff that have come out for it made it into almost a new game completely.
Yeah. And they've done a great job, you know. Yeah. So I think maybe that's the reality of it is just... I think reviews are incredibly helpful, and I would never say not to trust reviews, because I think reviews are incredibly important, and I think they do a very important public service.
Yes.
But
I
also
concur.
kind of trust your gut on those things, like and realize that a 70 or a 75 doesn't mean that a game's garbage. Like, there are a lot of really good games that are that same that same point. And if you love No Man's Sky, or if you just want to see pretty pictures, go on Twitter and look for No Man's Pics, because it'll make you think differently about No Man's Sky. There are some absolutely gorgeous screenshots from that game.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Anyway, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Kevin. And that's that for the questions. Cheap free games up next. I'm glad that I saw this, because as of right now, they are live on the PlayStation Store for PlayStation Plus members.
I downloaded them all right before this podcast.
Same here.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm doing that now. I didn't realize. So Just Cause 3 is one of the free games on PlayStation Plus. I didn't realize that was still a $60 game.
Oh. Yeah, I almost died.
Don't die.
Yeah,
it's just a game.
My coffee almost killed me.
Oh man, I need to. Oh.
Yeah, no, I mean, Just Cause is only.
It's a Square Enix property.
Oh yeah,
I had no idea.
It's huge, and I mean that game only came out I think we talked about it
December
a
2015.
year and 3 months ago. That's new.
Assassin's Creed Freedom
They
Cry.
must have sold a lot of copies or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it did pretty well too, but I think Just Cause is kind of one of those we bring it out, it's like a big summer blockbuster, and then it just goes away.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of tail on those games.
What is this Downwell game?
I don't know. I'm going to try really, really, really hard, though, to stream all of the Xbox and PlayStation 4 games over the next week or two. So.
Downwell looks to me like a mashup of...
Oh, that's the one where you're dropping down the...
Dig Dug versus Super Meat Boy versus upside down R-Type.
I've heard it's really good. It's a Vita game, right?
It's a PlayStation Network game, so it's got crossplay.
Give it a go. Yeah, I think that's fun.
Download that.
So go grab all the Xbox and Plus games.
Super Motherload.
Yeah.
I like saying the names of these games.
I don't
know why.
Anyway, we also, though, if you're an Android user,
hello.
If you're Adam,
hello.
The Humble Mobile Bundle puzzles, which is I always look at these and I'm like, oh man, there's so many cool games in these. But specifically Deus Ex Go, you can pay.
I love Deus Ex Go.
Yeah,
I got that
I think
one.
everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
But that's in there in the $5 tier. So is Mini Metro, which I've heard is absolutely amazing.
I've got Mini Metro from one of their other bundles.
And another one that Adam was talking about last week is, I think, Slayaway Camp. Yeah, right now $5.71 gets you all three of those games plus a bunch of other games.
And I paid $3 for Slayaway Camp, so you're getting a steal. If you get that and Deus Ex Go,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
and a game called A Good Snowman is Hard to Build, which
is an amazing name.
I know nothing about this game, but I love it based on the game alone. Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Human Resource Machine is real cool too.
Yeah, so
that's
if you're an Android guy, those are great. The only downside, you actually have to be an Android. I was really hoping I'd be able to play these on my Kindle Fire, and it doesn't really play without a lot of work. So
oh really? That sucks.
Yeah, because there's a pretty hacked up version of Android. But if you have an Android phone, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you've ever wanted to get into video game development, if you ever want to see the backside of what we're talking about, there's also a couple really good bundles right now. There's a book bundle that has a bunch of Unity and Unreal Engine game specific, how to make games in Unity and Unreal, and those are both free engines that you can go poke around in. That's fun. And then there's also a Game Maker bundle out right now. So there's a programming thing called Game Maker that lets you kind of to some degree make drag and drop games, and it comes with Game Maker and all the things you need to use it, and plus a bunch of games made in Game Maker too.
But do you have to like know how to program?
Game Maker probably less so than Unity and Unreal, but you know if you,
I should have Kevin teach me some.
yeah,
crap.
I think that's the thing is if it's something you're interested in, it's a great way to get into that. You know, if you've ever thought like, oh hey, I'd like to, program anything for a living, doesn't mean games. Unity is all in C#, which is a programming language that is used for everything. So you can build web pages in it, you can build Windows apps in it, you can build games in it, you can build all sorts of stuff. So learning C# is actually would be a very good resume pattern.
C# different than C++?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I know
C#
that
is
one.
made by Microsoft. So
okay.
C++ is not made by Microsoft.
Oh, it's not?
No.
No. Look at me not knowing these
It's
things.
an open source thing.
Well, cool. Well, there's that. So
Yeah.
check out the Humble
a
Bundle.
lot of humble crap this week. It's good stuff.
Titanfall 2 is now free on EA Access.
Yes, I'm super excited. That's got like a 8-hour single player that is supposed to be just absolutely phenomenal. So if you have EA Access, go grab that. And if you don't have EA Access, go buy that first and then download.
How much is EA Access?
$30 a year. Yeah, it's dumb not to have. If you have an Xbox,
I don't.
sorry. So it's
not PC?
You can just there is one called Origin Access for the PC. It is $5 a month, so it's $60 a year.
Yeah, what is this thing happening on our mixer where this weird pixely...
It just happens. It's a bandwidth thing. It
That's
happens.
stupid.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, guys.
But
Anyway, yeah.
yeah, no, get EA Access on the Xbox, or you can get Origin Access on the PC, and it also has Titanfall in it. So
You don't have it... Oh,
I'm excited.
yeah, it's good stuff. I'm super excited. I'm really excited to play the single player. I did not want to pay $60 for a game to play 8 hours of single player, but I'm really excited to get it for free.
I'm excited to try this. I played a little bit of the first Titanfall because it was one of the first games on the Xbox One, and it was fun, but it was such a new attempt at a game. So
I paid $100 more for my Xbox because if I got the one with the Kinect, I got Titanfall for free and did not realize it was online only. Got it home, loaded up, played it exactly once, and it said, joining you with other people. I said, nope, and never played it again.
Oh, no.
So,
oh no!
oh, well.
Oh,
Now I have a Kinect that sits in my corner somewhere because it doesn't plug into my 1S. So
That's
that's
so weird
terrible.
that they didn't. Why don't they support the Kinect on the 1S?
Like, I mean, it's there. Why? It's
They
a
spent
port.
all this
yeah,
time,
but it's a special port. It's probably, I would guess it's size because the 1S is so much smaller than the normal
But
one. So
they spent all this time making this thing.
Yeah.
and then they made it on their new system.
yeah,
and
I
then
think
they're just not going to.
I think part of it also is they recognized that it was a horrible idea. So
I don't disagree.
it is what it is. Anyway,
All right. So small bites. I mean, there's nothing there, but I will just refer you back to that Humble Bundle, Android bundle thing because that's awesome. You should do that. Anyway, that's all of that. We are down to our final segment of the show. It is back with a vengeance.
The
Troll Corner.
yeah, GameStop made Troll Corner 2 weeks in a row. That's
What was last? Oh, last week's was the NES
the
bundles,
bundle thing.
but that was the Think Geek.
whatever.
same
They're the
shit.
same company. Well, but I mean,
Oh,
they
I
did
just
it with.
said the S word.
Dang it. They did it with the Switch bundles too, so I will just lump them
At
all
least
into.
with the Switch, but at least with the Switch bundles, even though they created like a faux shortage to do that, in a way, at least the bundles that you were getting with the Switch weren't completely asinine.
Yeah, and like
at least they had some kind of value to them.
I don't
that
disagree,
I will give them.
but they were still like
That was still dumb.
$600.
Dumb.
You know,
Yeah, it was
like
still dumb.
they actually had one in stock last week that was the Switch plus Zelda for $360, and I'm like, that's completely reasonable. Like, I'm 100% fine with that bundle. Everyone's going to buy that anyway.
Yeah.
But when it was the Switch plus, plus Zelda, plus a Pro controller, plus a charging thing, plus
So all the
snipper
things that
clips,
I bought
plus-
on day one.
yeah, but not everyone's you. To me, it was really more like you should have the option to spend $300 and then get what you want with it.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, they're back. Thank you, GameStop.
Yeah, so GameStop, and like this is near and dear to my heart. I did not work at GameStop, but I worked at Software Etc., which is now GameStop, and like it's a horrible place to work. Like, don't let anyone tell you different. But I mean,
I hope they don't listen to this and like
whatever.
try and sue us.
That's fine. I mean, retail in general is really hard, frankly.
Yeah.
You make no money for a huge amount of expectations, and you have to constantly be pushing credit cards, or if you work at GameStop, whatever their little dumb GameStop club is, and, whatever. But
It's GameStop's club isn't dumb. All clubs are dumb.
There
That
you
is
go.
our opinion.
Yeah.
So it's not
that's
just
fair.
GameStop.
It's not just GameStop. Anyway,
I'll have to let everybody know in our clan about that you think clubs are dumb.
no, our
that's,
club's
that's
awesome.
a different club.
Yeah,
That's a
retail
different kind of club.
clubs.
Like
Rewards programs.
There
there's
you
a
go.
big
You buy
asterisk
into.
here.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. We're not targeting GameStop
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
But anyway, GameStop, I am targeting them on this. GameStop decided to be open on Thanksgiving.
Why?
I mean, yeah. I mean, looking at their history the last couple of years,
Yeah.
I can understand why you're frustrated. But at the same time, they are far
Who-
from the only retailer
totally.
open on
But
Thanksgiving.
who needs video games on Thanksgiving?
Who's even gonna
You've
shop
not
there?
met my family.
Why?
I need video games on Thanksgiving. It's the
But-
only way I survive.
But why couldn't you just buy them off Amazon?
But why are you?
Why couldn't you
who
buy
is
it off
out
Xbox
shopping?
Live? Why couldn't you buy it anywhere else but making some poor
saying.
schlub miss Thanksgiving dinner to, sell you video games? Like, it's just...
Are they at least offering like an opt-in to work on that
of
day?
course
Absolutely not.
I guarantee you that they're
Because
not.
everyone would opt out, and then they wouldn't be open
Well,
on
and
Thanksgiving.
I'll be honest, as a manager, like when I manage those stores, I guarantee you the person that will be working is the manager and maybe the assistant manager, because the manager is the only person that's salaried there. And so they're the only person, and they're
They
totally,
won't get like holiday pay.
they're not going to, no one gets holiday pay there. No one's going to, they don't pay overtime. They don't do any of that. So you're going to be working on a holiday for your normal pay. It's just crappy. Like, I guess, if you're at one of those malls that thinks it's a great idea to open at midnight on Black Friday, like, fine, but let people have turkey with their family, Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason to be open. There's just none. Like,
I mean, I remember when I was a kid. I was like 17, 18, and I worked at Walmart.
yeah.
That was terrible in and of itself.
Yeah.
However, they decided that was the year or era that they decided to start like experimenting with the whole open 24 hours on Christmas
Yeah, yeah,
Eve
yeah.
crap and blah
Yep.
blah blah, and they let you sign up for it. So I
Yeah.
volunteered for
Yeah.
it. We didn't sell anything.
No.
but I had a blast.
Yeah.
We
And
had so much fun.
And I think that's the thing is like if they're going to take volunteers, if they're going to, but they're not going to. I mean, when
like at least start it that way
Yeah.
just to see if
When-
you can get
see
it
if
to
it
fill
works.
up.
When I was
Yeah,
a
do
manager,
that first.
When I was a manager at GameStop, in the entire month of December, I'm sorry, at Software Etc., the entire month of December, we were required to work 48 hours a week, and we had to work 6 days. Like that's
just stupid.
that's the kind of thing they do to their employees. So,
Right.
I mean, I was normally required to work 44 hours, so it was a lovely place.
But you got 4 hours of overtime?
No, I
How
was
could they
salaried.
make you? Oh, yeah,
Yep,
God,
yep.
yeah.
I was making like $20,000 a year, working like 75 hours a week. It was awesome.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was not.
But you had those amazing benefits.
I did get free games, and I did not they had health care. I couldn't afford it making $20,000 a year, but
Right.
you couldn't call in sick because there wasn't anyone to
No
cover
one else
for
would
you.
open the door.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I don't know why I did that for 3.5 years, but anyway. GameStop, don't be open on Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
please.
stop being- don't be a
Everywhere.
dick.
Like, frankly, everywhere. Don't be open on Thanksgiving. Go home, spend some time with
Except
your
for
family.
Domino's, can you please be open on Thanksgiving? That would be awesome.
I mean, I will say too, like every Thanksgiving,
Eat that turkey
I
cranberry
go and
pizza.
I go and eat Indian food. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm kind of a horrible person. But
No tofurkey?
no,
Tofurkey's amazing.
is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've always been nervous to buy a
Tofu turkey?
$17 non-meat product.
I'll have to get my friend's roommate's recipe. She grew up completely random.
For a second, I hope she grew a tofurkey.
Yeah. She was adopted by an Amish family, and she's vegan.
Wow.
Yeah, or vegetarian.
Whatever.
And I think she's vegan. Anyway, regardless, she made a tofurkey one year for Thanksgiving.
good?
And she makes this glaze for it. It was to die for.
All right.
So good.
I'll give tofurkey a try.
Yes?
Do turkeys lay eggs?
Yes.
Why
They're
don't we-
birds.
Is that a legit question?
But where are these turkey eggs? Like,
You can buy turkey eggs.
Can you?
Yeah, they're just a little bigger than
Why have I
chicken
never
eggs.
seen a turkey egg?
I don't know. I don't think they sell them at like the store, but you can buy them. Anyway, yes.
Do turkeys lay eggs?
All birds lay eggs.
Ostriches
I-
lay eggs.
Yeah, they're real
But,
big.
I mean, the question was kind of rhetorical, but
Ducks lay eggs too.
Do flying fish?
No, those aren't birds.
But they fly.
That
And
is-
fish lay eggs.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yes, yes, they do lay eggs. Damn it.
But some sea creatures are mammals.
That is true. Anyway, we should end this now.
That was awesome. That was amazing.
That was real good.
But my next question was, does Tofurkey come from eggs?
No.
No.
No. It does not. It's vegan. It's soy. It's a soy product.
Yeah.
Tofu.
It's probably pretty good. Anyway.
Why are you asking these questions, Dylan? Oh,
Dylan, end us.
not yet. Follow us on all. I'm like, no, we'll end
you.
Dylan. That's how it goes.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's it for the show. Thanks for checking us out. Follow us online. Social medias are all Bite Me Podcast. BYTE Me Podcast.
Twitters, Facebooks,
Facebooks, Twitches, YouTubes,
Mixer.
Yes, to
You could be watching us right now.
Yeah, to our friends watching us on Mixer right now. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed our very special attempt.
The inaugural.
I will also, as a
Soft
very
open.
final thing, Vinny's been doing research for us while we're actually recording this. He did tell me that Origin Access on the PC is also available for $30.
I also learned that Kevin has a birthday every birthday. Fun fact: my birthday is his birthday is on Thanksgiving every 4 years.
Oh, how exciting!
Well, look at that.
Nice.
Happy birth. Is it this year?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll find
My
out.
wife's birthday is on Father's Day every 4 years. It's very unfortunate.
My birthday's on a Friday the 13th, like every 6 years?
Oh, that's exciting.
Something like that.
Nice.
Anyway, so thank you for watching us on Mixer. We're trying to get that channel up and running. So if you're following us on the social medias and stuff, you want to see what we do, like in the studio when we do our show, mixer.com/Bite Me Podcast, BYTE Me Podcast.
I'm going to be doing like a Wake Up with Cliff stream I'm going to shoot for Monday, Wednesday, Friday at like 6 a.m.
I'm like,
Wake up and jump off a cliff stream.
There you go.
all right. Well,
It's real
thanks for
early.
watching. Thanks for listening. And yeah.
Bite me. Louder. Bite me. Bite me.
Terrible.
Oh my God! Bite me.